Hey guys, welcome back to another League View podcast. I'm Andréa and I'm here with my co-host Pat Sills. Pat, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great.
Well, I'm sure you're doing great because today we're talking about Jamal Idris, the new Tigers signing.
My boy Jamal, always been a big fan of him.
Yeah, for sure. He's a great player. He never really filled his potential in his past, outings with the Bulldogs, Titans, Penrith as well. How do you think he is? Like, what do you feel for? What are your first thoughts on him signing? What was the first reaction?
My first reaction was, oh, wait a minute, we actually made a signing. Obviously, Jamal, our first signing for next season. We've let go so many players and we finally signed one, so I was happy that we signed someone. But I think he's going to be one to watch next season, not just as a Tigers fan, but as a rugby league fan.
For sure.
He seems to be in the right mind space, which is good. I mean, he's admitted to not wanting to be at training at other clubs, and he said in an interview just the other day that this was the first time he's come to a club and actually wanted to show up for training. So he's shown that his head's there at least.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not one to be excited for other teams signing up players, but this is one I was definitely excited for. I actually saw on Facebook the Tigers uploaded a video of him, the interview of him. We'll put the link in the description below. But yeah, I watched the whole thing and I was really amped up to see him back because, again, like when we're talking headspace wise, you can tell he's in that good headspace. He actually wants to go. He actually wants to be a part of a team. He wants to play rugby league for a living. And after that, his whole experience overseas, he went on how he travelled the world, he went to Africa for a while. He stayed with relatives, and he said, there'd be times where he'd be inside a house and there'd be no electricity and no running water, but they'd all just be happy with each other. So I think that experience has given him a new lease on life and a new lease on rugby league. But the biggest question I've got for him, or for you, should I say, what position should he play? Where does he fit in? Because in the interview he did say that he'd play anywhere. He didn't care. That, which is the generic answer.
Yeah, well, that's impress the coach with that one.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, we could use him anywhere. I mean, we could use a quality centre, we could use a quality back rower.
Yeah.
I'd like to personally see him in the centres. I think, especially, I mean, if you look at the fact we had Jordan Rankin playing on the wing last season, he's not a winger. We need to get some backs in the backs, and I think Jamal, move Kevin on the wing if he stays. I think that's a nice little back line we got going there.
Yeah, I think it could really depend on whether Kevin Nagama stays. I mean, he's been rumoured to go to Catalans in the Super League. I think a few other clubs as well have been interested in him. I like him. I like the idea of him on the bench as impact, because I think we saw a bit of him do that at Penrith. I think at the back end of he left mid-season, I believe, 2014 or 15.
I believe it was
2014, yeah. And so he came off the bench and really added a new spark, and I think that's what the Tigers really lack.
Yeah, I mean,
we had spark off the bench. They got solid players here and there. Yeah, you could argue, but I think that's something they really need in their team, and I think Jamal could provide that.
I think impact-wise, we're still kind of hurting from Tapau leaving. We had players that could make an impact, but I don't think we really recovered from letting go someone like Tapau. I mean, he'd come off the bench in 2014 when he first signed with the club, and he changed the entire game, and then he moved to a starter, and I was kind of like, it's kind of like starting Sam Cassiano at the Bulldogs. He's much better off the bench. I think if Jamal does come off the bench, it'll benefit the club a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I do agree at centre he could add a lot of stability. What edge is the one that Luke Brooks defends on, right?
Luke Brooks is on the left-hand defence.
Okay, so wherever Jamal should play at centres, I think it should be next to Brooks to just kind of, help him out. We've always seen those kind of bodyguard second rowers or centres for the small halfbacks, so I think he could really do a job there. I think wherever he plays, really, I think the fact that he's excited, the fact that he's really willing to go and give it a go, he's raring.
He seems to be.
He's excited. He's up for the challenge, and I think that's really something that we could look forward to as rugby league fans as a whole.
Especially if he is to play right centre, the combination of him and David Nofaluma.
Oh, Nofaluma.
Just knock him out. Don't even let the other teams get on the field. It's going to be a rip-up, tear-up.
100%. I mean, they'll be the top try scorers for the season 2017 by far.
Nofaluma is very talented, as we all know, and I think sometimes he was just lacking a bit of decent ball I mean, he's not the perfect player, but he's very talented, and I think Jamal's the type of player like a Joey Leilua that can take it on the line and get a ball out the backcourt, make a break and give it to him. I think it affects more than just Jamal if Jamal plays on that right side of the field.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's that perfect combination of centre and second row. I mean, throughout the years we've seen a lot of positions, a lot of players in positions, there's a lot of similarities, and I think centre, second row is something that's becoming more apparent in the modern game, with the offloading, with the hard running, with the size, the impact as well. So I think if he gets hit, like if he hits some good holes on his edge and turns around and looks for an offload, there'll be tries coming for the Tigers. We already know that the Tigers are a great attacking team.
Yeah, well, of course, I would definitely know how great we are in attack, and especially with guys like Tedesco Moses lurking around the middle of the field, anything can happen.
Yeah. Are you concerned about he's been known to be a bit lazy. Is there any concerns there? I mean, he can be a bit iffy in defence, and that's again something it's just trademark of the Tigers.
Yeah, well, if he is a bit iffy in defence, it's not like it's something I'm not used to, but I think it is going to be a worry or a concern, but I think a couple of rounds into the season we'll find out if he's actually there to stay. And I don't think Jackson Taylor's too scared to drop in the reserve grade either, as Rabbitohs fans would know about reserve grade Tigers.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So guys, thanks for watching. A question of the day: where should Jamal Idris play at the Tigers? Should he play centre, second row? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us. We'll have plenty of more podcasts throughout the off season, so stay tuned and have a good one.